Good morning and welcome to Presence of Light with charlierivermanbergeron. I'm having internet problems and that's okay. I'm still here. They haven't defeated me yet. They haven't made it so I can't show up yet. However, some days I feel like they're working on very diligently, whoever they are. So, grand rising, blessings to be with you. Hope that people show up. I never know with this crazy process of computers and everybody fighting for your attention and their ability to monitor you. I never know what's going to appear. So today is a message that came as early as I was awakening this morning, and it's really one of structure and moving into becoming the phoenix, the children of the phoenix, and sorting out stuff and restructuring our lives and our thought processes. And yes, people are appearing. I love you so dearly. Alice and Marilyn, good to see you. Not that I can talk to blank space, but I like to know that there are actual people listening. So, Melissa, may my moments be peaceful. They will. This, energy that arises in us of frustration is something that happens no matter what we're interfacing with or how we're interfacing with the world around us. And it's really important for us right now to listen very closely to everything that is coming up for us. And so this morning it was the card that I pulled was about the phoenix. And on the phoenix, this all came out of my last set of dreaming this morning, which was interesting. When I awakened and started to look at what was the deeper message of all of this strangeness, and it was one in which there were innocent people trying to get me to continue doing what I have normally done and in the ways of thinking and doing. And even though they realized that what they were doing wasn't good enough, it wasn't right. It was, they were working on this building and the house, and the shingles were put on sloppily, and the roof was not strong enough. There was areas where they knew it would fail, but they just kept going. And so as I watched this, I realized that I couldn't be a part of this anymore. And so this is the message: is what's going on right now is the phoenix is rising. We're shifting into a whole new level of awareness, and what's no longer necessary, and unfortunately it's literally burning away around the planet. And bless all the people who are suffering from the fires wherever you are in the world. I don't wish that on anyone, but it is metaphoric in a way of what is going on inside of us as well, that the phoenix is rising, and all of this has to be burnt away, if you will. And we're in this process of deep sorting of who we are, how we relate to each other and to the world, our political systems, our economic systems, our ecological systems. Everything is coming up for review. And we have people that are continually programming us to carry on in the old fashion, that everything is fine, we got everything under control, we're going to make this work. And this morning's message was, no, it's not going to work, and they know it. And they know it's not going to work. And what they're doing is they're just doing the same old, all over again, knowing that they're going to come out winning, and they don't care who's going to live in this structure. They don't care about the average human being or the average animal or insect or Mother Earth. They're only looking at their own selfishness, really. And that's coming up out of my heart right now. That's not in my show notes, and I'm not here to lecture anyone. But this morning's dreaming was very clear. As I'm looking here at my show notes, it was very clear. It was very clear to me that we all have to start paying closer attention to how we're being fooled by the people around us. And it's not just about the governing bodies that are fooling us, but people in our own social and familial architecture, if you will, our relationship. And to really deepen into, are we going to continue to accept that? Do we deserve that? And what are the alternatives if we choose not to? And how can we rise out of that? And so that was the first card this morning that I pulled, was Daughters of the Light here. And I can see if I can, where's my camera here on this computer? You may not be able to read it very clearly, but it's Daughter of the Phoenix. And that message is really about transmutation, if you will. And it's about cleaning things out, clearing things out of our home, out of our self, out of our minds, in order to deepen into something new, deepen into something that is co-creative and rising in light and strength and good for all of us, not just a sense of what we're losing and what we're leaving behind, but we're sorting through everything that makes us weak and inferior. We're sorting through our living presence of structure, how we structure our lives, and learning to leave behind, like moving out of your house. What are you going to get rid of in order to move into your new structure? So with that said, is that, it's amazing how we're all going through this. And it doesn't matter whether you're financially well off, or if you're just struggling, or if you're homeless, or everybody on this planet is now going through this. And we're all being told and guided to build something new. Now, many of us have no sense of hope in that, or maybe we don't have any, we may not feel we have an ability to do that externally. But the key is that it really isn't about the external. It's about the internal rebuilding. It's the internal restructuring that we need to do. And so the Kuan Yin card, the Daughter of the Phoenix, confirmed that and challenges us to face our stuck emotions and our stagnant energy. Somebody wrote over here something about trusting the energy. And we have to trust the energy. We have to trust the energy that's within us. We are the energy generators. And what we're looking at and what we trusting, we think about the energy being outside of us. And do we trust that energy? Well, we know that that energy can be manipulated. And as that's manipulated, the energy within us is manipulated. So what energy are we to trust? What is the energy center in your body? Is your heart. This is the energy. This creates more energy than any other part of your physical presence. You can think all you want, but you can't compare the energy of your brain to the energy of your heart. And it's scientifically proven. And I don't even need to go there. This is what we have to trust now. This is the energy we have to rely on to help us go through this process of change, of rising as the phoenix. And this is challenging for all of us because the world around us is promoting fear. It's generating fear, the energy of fear. It is broadcasting fear. It is sending you signals of fear. Now, it doesn't matter how you want to describe that. It doesn't matter how you want to look at it. But what we need to understand is that's what's happening. And that fear, that generation of fear, doesn't matter how it comes, where it comes from, who's creating it, or any of that. The fact that it is being generated and broadcast to us 24/7 has distorted our ability to tap into our own divine presence and communicate with each other at that higher level, that frequency of energy that's pure, that's clean, that is part of the phoenix rising. So, where do we go with that? Fear's moving forward. It needs to be burned in the flames of renewal, is what I wrote, rather than the fear of loss being trapped. What we're experiencing now is trapped fear. And as part of the Global Heart team yesterday, we spent a half an hour in a meditative state where we journeyed wherever we were guided over the planet Earth and just sending love. Just sending love, focusing on sending love to that area. And people will say, well, that's just crazy. And I will tell you, no. We are that powerful that when we collectively gather with an intention to do something, that energy is greater than the energy that is opposite that. Because that energy is coming from our hearts. And it's time now for us to rise in our hearts. That flame of the phoenix that we've heard about and we talk about, and that transmutation is all going to come through our hearts. The unknown will become known. The trust and faith and love will be the light that guides us. Trust, faith, and love is what's needed to guide us now. Not human beings, not computers, not robots, not some technology, not some grand wizard behind the curtain. Though that paradigm is over. It's ended. It's actually ended. And my guides keep telling me it's ended. We just haven't consciously caught up with it yet. And this is what we're going through. And this is why we need to burn away not what's outside of us, but what's no longer efficient, no longer embracing, and no longer serves us or anyone around us. It's our responsibility now, not under some phony leadership that has an agenda, but from our hearts, from the intention of the collective whole of our mind. And in speaking of the light that will guide us, we might ask, where will it all come from? Where are we going to find that strength? Where are we going to find that ability? And so this morning, second card was, let's see, I'm discombobulated here, was this beautiful card here. And let me see if I can get that in the camera. There you go. All right. And so this is just, it's an image of a galaxy. And you see that black line? That's dust. And that dust is actually, it's a lane of dust that's dividing the galaxy into two halves. And I found it interesting because the card is called Quiet Meditation. And what I found was strange and interesting was the fact that here I was dreaming and awakening to this vision of seeing how things were not right. They were this dust, line of dust. And yet, how do we get through that? And what has to be burnt away is all of that. That dust has to be removed. So again, here's the metaphor of cleaning and clearing. What are we clearing and clearing but all of this clutter, this debris that's not buried us? We are still that galaxy, that light on both sides. We have it. It's just here in the middle we are. And here in the middle is where we're not totally connected any longer. We're hidden under all of this clutter, all of this debris, all of this wisdom, this technical wisdom, this wizardry that we've created. We're amazing beings. We're amazing beings. Yet we've taken that amazingness, unused it, instead of making everyone powerful, we've decided only a few have the right to be that powerful. That is so wrong. And I'm just going to be blunt. It is so wrong. And that was never the intention for humanity. And it doesn't matter how we arrived here at this point. What matters is that we become aware of that distortion. And so the card, the Quiet Meditation card, reads, when I close my eyes and withdraw from the world around me, I enter the world of eternal life. And when we talk about eternal life, we don't really have a concept of that humanly. I just celebrated my 29th birthday, or rebirthday as I call it. I died 29 years ago in a motorcycle accident. And I went to the light. And I'm not going to go through that whole story. And I came back into my body. So we normally call it a near-death experience. And there are many stories about that. And it does exist. But what is important about that is the fact that you come back and realize that what we have been told and taught about death is not the truth. And in that moment, it doesn't make anyone more powerful than anybody, but it gives you a different perspective of all of life. And it doesn't mean I don't suffer. It doesn't mean that I don't get cut. I don't get banged up. I don't have hurt and my heart doesn't hurt. I have people who don't like me. I have people, everything remains the same. The thing that changes is that you become aware of something much more. That life is much more than what is playing out here in the third dimension. And you realize that you are a multi-dimensional being. And whatever you want to think of that is fine, because it's not really truly definable. And it was never intended to be definable, because if it did, somebody would want to manipulate it. And so, in the pattern of life that we live, it is already written that humanity has the power to create a false image of what it is and how it should live. And I'm not talking about any religious books, although that is written in religious teachings. So if we can do it to the point where we are destructive and harmful to each other, what's stopping us from doing it, for being beneficent and wonderful to each other? Fear. That's the only thing that's stopping us, is fear. And we've been programmed with fear for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And so that dust line in that galaxy is really telling us, and that message of that card is that as we focus on the internal world rather than the external world around us, we tap into the energy field of the heart. We tap into the energy field that is two worlds or four worlds rather than this just singular physical world. And it becomes an opportunity to see ourselves both as spirit and form. And as we allow ourselves to embrace the fact that we are both spirit and form, we can then choose which one do I want to listen to today? Which one do I want to guide me today? Do I want the spirit self to guide me? Or do I want the physical form to guide me? Neither one is right or wrong. But if we look at life of humanity, we've been mostly run around by our physicality. And it's only in quieting the mind that we can tap into that spiritual side. So the quiet meditation is to come into that darkness, that stillness, that we've been told the darkness is bad. But it's not. It's just dark. It's just light is not present. It doesn't mean it's good or bad. We've been trained that. We've been taught that. It's just the balance. We have dark and we have light. If you think about the dark of the night, and as the earth turns, it appears as if the sun is appearing and clearing away the darkness. It's only clearing away the darkness in that one place where the light is shining. If we are that light, then we have that same power to clear away the darkness wherever we choose to shine. This is simple. It's not complicated. We've made it complicated. We've made it a process whereby somebody could actually, through fear, tell us, direct us, move us in the direction that they want, that serves them, rather than what serves the whole of humanity, the whole of life. As I wrote my notes this morning, at this point, these words came through. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. It was written by Paul Simon. I don't even know how many years ago. I was probably 14, 15 years old. And that song at that age had such a meaning for me that I couldn't get it out of my mind. And I knew at that age I was different, and I thought differently than everybody else around me. And I see that in that song, in those words, in this world today, replaying itself. And what it really tells us is that the structure that we're looking for to co-create at this point is not going to be found in what I would call the old paradigm. It's not going to be found on the TV. It's not going to be found on the computer. It's not going to be found in what governments are trying to tell us and tell us what is important. It's not going to be found there. It's going to be found in the silence within us. And this is why it's important for us to take the time to meditate. Take the time to honor the quiet space within us. Honor that quiet space within us. And what we need to learn about the changing of our structures and co-creating new structures and letting go of old patterns that no longer serve us will rise in that darkness. And if we don't have fear, if we let go of the fear, the darkness is where the new light will arise from. The new light of transformation. The new light of transmutation, to where we become that sacred temple of peace once again within, in order that we can share it without. Because peace is not out there. Peace has to come from within here. This temple, this physical temple, you are each a temple of divine light. And the peace and love are to emanate from that temple. And you have to enter in through the darkness. Come into that darkness within you. Embrace it. Shine your light on it. Reveal it to yourself. And then make that beautiful decision to say, you no longer serve me. You no longer serve me because I no longer need to be served. I am the server. I am the one who will bring forth the love and the light that will create the peace that has been stolen from the surface of planet Earth. I encourage you to make a declaration of independence. And now I'm running over on time. Create a personal declaration of independence. One that serves all of humanity, all living beings, all of Mother Earth. One who will accept and acknowledge the pain and suffering that everything is now forcing us to rethink. Rethink what direction we are to be headed in. Not just for us, but for the future generations of humanity, for the future generations of trees, for the future generations of water, for the future generations of Mother Earth. We're all in this together. The gift we have is we have the power within us. If we let go of all of this outside of us and seek within us in that darkness who we truly are. My journey to the light was through darkness. When I looked down at my body was talking to someone, a police officer or an ambulance driver. But it wasn't me. And I want you to hear that. And I want you to feel that. And I want you to know that that is you as well. That's my gift to you this morning. And in the sidelines here, I just want to touch base with you before I leave. Look forward to listening to you. Somebody used to think planning was everything, but now I tend to trust the energy around me. Thank you. And this is what I'm talking about, is trusting the energy. And trusting the energy within you, even more so than the energy around you. The energy around us signals the energy within us. And we have the power to change the energy around us. If you look at your energy field, it can grow large or it can be diminished. The more fear that we encounter, the smaller we get. Our energy field shrinks. The more we build our energy field, the more we push away all of that fear, all of that. And we're seen for who we truly are. Grand Rising, Linda. Yes, stretching yourself to move forward. Yeah, the pain is a metaphor. It's a hard experience. It hurts. It does hurt. But just like when we get a scratch on our arm, or as I did yesterday, the rose bushes attacked me with their sharp little claws. Yeah, it hurts. But I knew that the bushes had to be trimmed. They were not happy. But next year, they'll be more beautiful. Let's see, for me, opposite. Somebody's had an opposite. Beautiful. I love that. We have opposites. I used to trust energy a lot and have not planned anything in my life. Now the time has come to take a step, either to make a plan or go with no plan and flow with the energy. Become the master of the energy that you are. When the water starts in the mountains and comes down, it's just a trickle. Once it gathers momentum, its energy from turning over rocks and winding around this and moving around that, the energy builds. And by the time it reaches the ocean, it has a current so strong that people can't swim back up. Only the strongest can swim back up. The salmon, those who understand that the power against us is limited to the power that we are. Stand in your power. That's the energy you need to focus on. Your energy. And know that you, as you reach in and gather that energy, you can swim upstream or you can go downstream. The choice is, do you want to perpetuate life? Do you want to be part of the life cycle? Or do you want to be just flushed away at the mercy of the energy? You are the energy. We say, we're the ones we've been waiting for. You are the energy that you have been waiting for. Call it back. Stand in it. Doesn't mean you have to do something dramatic or extravagant. If anything that you need to do right now is get rid of all of the clutter and the debris, all of the baggage that we've been carrying along with us, and prepare yourself for being, if not the rising phoenix itself, be in the energy that she carries as she rises. Love you all. Bless you all. Thank you all. Once again, a joy to be here. A joy to bring my messages to the world. And even if you don't align with them, find something in them that triggers you to think differently. Because that's the beginning. Once we can think differently, we are activating the process of freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from ruling guardians who think they know better than we do and have lost their way. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. We are unity. We are one unified field. Each one of us as powerful as each other. It's time now to come together for the future generations of all life on planet Earth, not just ourselves. Have a great week. Bless you, bless you, bless you, and hope you got something good out of what I said. I never really know, but I hope you have, and that's why I show up. Until next Friday, be at peace and know that you are loved. And know that you are far more powerful than you can ever imagine. That your wildest thought is limited.